Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. And I'm Bob. It's good to see you, Bob. Yes, it is. This week, I'd like to talk a little bit about potential as a practice. I'm going to mention a little bit about Carl Jung and Christiana Morgan. So here's a compelling episode that centres on the concept of potential, personal integrity and the creative inner life with groundedness and motivation at its core. It's about your self-worth and growth. Oh yeah, the central vibe of Jar of Marbles. Yeah, it is. So either you're doing the work or you're not. Hashtag potential is a practice. The space where we cut through the noise, talk about living on purpose and what it really means to honour your creativity and inner life. So today's episode is a truth check. You're either doing the work or you're not. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about doing the work. I think it's the work. I think it's the word work. Yeah, I think it probably is, Bob, yeah. So your potential is not passive. We all like the idea of potential. It's a sexy word. It is? Yeah, it's full of possibility. It implies there's something special in you, some great untapped force waiting to be discovered. If you watch Jaws backwards, it's actually a movie about a shark that keeps throwing up people until they have to open up a beach. There you go. Yeah. So we're often remarkably good at spotting potential in other people, aren't we? Yeah, that's true. We can see their talent, yeah, their timing, their possibilities, sometimes even before they do. Yeah, that's really true, yeah. From the outside, their path looks clearer. We're less tangled in their fears, less aware of their self-doubt, and not burdened by their internal narrative. I just learned that an ostrich will often walk around and then forget where they're going. I have never related more to an animal in my life. So it's easy to say, you could be great at this when you're not the one who has to risk failing at it. Yeah, right. Does anyone else pack underwear for a trip like they're planning on shitting themselves twice for every day they're gone? You really enjoyed that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, you got to say the word shit. But when it comes to ourselves, that clarity disappears. Our own potential feels uncertain, fragile, even suspect. Instead of possibility, we see risk. Yeah, we can. Instead of growth, we anticipate embarrassment or failure. The same qualities we admire in others, boldness, creativity, persistence, feel heavier when we have to carry them. And the Lord said unto John, come forth and ye shall receive eternal life. But John came fifth and he got a toaster. Yeah, toaster, yeah. So part of this comes from proximity. You live inside your own mind, which means you hear every doubt, every hesitation. Yeah, and every memory of thing that didn't work out. Yeah, that's right, Bob. Other people don't have that soundtrack when they look at you. They just see what's visible, your strengths, your patterns, your glimpses of ability. In a way, they're seeing a cleaner version of you. A cleaner version, yeah. I'm not on the crazy train. Trains go fast. It's more like a wagon, a long, slow ride on the crazy wagon. So how do you start recognising your own potential in real time instead of only seeing it in hindsight or, worse, never at all? As a kid, I used to watch The Wizard of Oz and wonder how someone could talk if they didn't have a brain. Then I got social media. Ooh. Yeah, all right. First, pay attention to moments of pull, not just moments of confidence. Potential doesn't always feel like certainty. Yeah, that's true. Often it feels like curiosity, interest, or even a quiet obsession. The things you keep coming back to, ideas you can't let go of, skills you want to improve, paths you keep reconsidering, those are signals. Deep thought of today. When you clean out a vacuum cleaner, you become a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, you do. Yeah. So we tend to dismiss them because they don't arrive with guarantees. If I was skinny and mentally stable, I'd be unstoppable. You're all lucky I'm squishy and crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, yeah. Hashtag potential is a practice. Second, notice what feels slightly uncomfortable but energising. Yeah, there's a difference between dread and stretch. Potential usually lives in that stretch zone where something feels just beyond your current ability but not completely out of reach. If something scares you and excites you, That's often a clue. Hey, I just bought my coworker a getting better soon card. They're not sick. I just think they could do better. Oh, that's nice of you. Is it? Not really, Bob. Oh. So third, borrow the perspective you give others. Ask yourself if someone else had my exact skills, interests and opportunities, what would I tell them to try? That's a bit tricky though, isn't it? Got to start somewhere, Bob. Then take that advice seriously. We tend to be more honest and more encouraging when we're advising someone else, but recognition alone isn't enough. Acting on your potential in real time requires something simpler and harder, small, immediate steps. You know, I'm just going to say it, sharks just aren't eating enough people. Stellar thoughts there, Bob. Yeah, I think so. You don't need to prove your full potential today. You just need to respond to it. Yeah, respond. Hashtag potential is a practice. That might mean starting before you feel ready. You have said this many times in different contexts over the years. I have, yes. Sharing something imperfect, applying for something you're unsure about, or practicing when no one is watching. Action is what turns potential from an abstract idea into something real. With daylight saving, that hour we lost was the one I was going to use to get my life together. Well, there you go. Maybe next time round. Yeah. And importantly, acting on your potential isn't about getting instant results. It never is it? No, it's about building evidence. Each time you try, you gather proof, not that you're perfect, but that you're capable of growing. And maybe working out if it's something you really want to move forward with. Yeah, that evidence shows... It slowly quiets the voice that says, this isn't for you. Yeah, right. And in the end, the gap between how we see others and how we see ourselves isn't about ability. It's about perspective and courage, giving it a shot, giving it a go. And remember, courage never feels like courage. Oh, yeah? What can it feel like? Well, courage isn't having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't really have the strength. And those powerful words were from Napoleon Bonaparte. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. You already have the ability to recognise potential. The work is learning to turn that same clarity inward and then moving, however imperfectly, when you see it. Yeah, this man lost his thumb, so he had to replace with his big toe. Imagine getting a wet willy from that bloody monstrosity. Thank you for that. It's all right, yeah. But let me ask you something. How much of your potential is actually showing up in your real life? As in full me showing up consciously and fully? Yeah, exactly that. Because here's the deal. Potential means nothing if you've not lived. Potential without action is a ghost. Fortunately, I don't think before I speak, so I'm just as shocked as you are. So... Potential without action is a ghost. It haunts you, reminds you of what you could have done, and slowly eats away at your sense of self-respect sometimes. Yeah, right, okay. You can talk about your dreams all day, but you're either doing the work or you're not. If you want to write, are you writing? If you want to paint, are you painting? If you want to build something of your own. So is there a story? Because I'm feeling like there's a story. Yes. When I was delving into Jungian psychology, and I did so for years, I came across a Christiana Morgan. Christiana Morgan, 1897 to 1967, so I would have been a very small child when she died, was a pioneering American psychoanalyst and artist whose life and work have gained renewed attention for their profound impact on Jungian psychology and feminist thought. Oh, yeah. She's perhaps best known for co-authoring the thematic apperception test, TAT, with Henry Murray, a widely used psychological assessment tool. Tit for tat. No, Bob. So, however, her most personal and symbolic creation was the Tower on the Marsh. Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah. It was this unique architectural and artistic expression of her entire life. The pictures that I've seen of it are simply astounding. I would say, yeah, I was drawn to the architecture and the ideas. Don't give up, I say. If the hair around your butthole can thrive in a challenging environment, then so can you. So encouraging. Yeah, I know. Yeah, anyway, so the Tower on the Marsh, inspired by Carl Jung's own Bollingen Tower, Morgan designed and built the tower on the marsh in Newburyport, Massachusetts in the 1930s. Geez, the 1930s. So, this structure served as a sanctuary for her artistic and psychological explorations, embodying her journey of individuation. What's that? Well, it's the process of integrating the conscious and the unconscious aspects of the psyche. I saw a pack of gummy words that read, "No artificial flavour." Who buys gummy worms hoping they'll taste as close to real worms as possible? Love your thought process. Yeah. Sometimes I do too, yeah. So the tower is adorned with Christiana's carvings, paintings and stained glass windows. It really is just a wonderful styled architectural wonder. I really, really love it. And each piece reflecting her deep engagement with the unconscious and her visionary experiences. Don't believe in everything you read in public toilets. Sharon's up for a good time. What an awkward phone call that was. Hashtag potential is a practice. Yeah, but is it really? Well, yeah, it is. So Jung referred to Christiana Morgan as a pioneer woman, recognising her as a significant figure in the exploration of the feminine. I love putting on warm underwear fresh out of the dryer. Plus, it's fun to look around the laundromat and guess who they belong to. You are quite awful. Yeah, I know. So when we stop treating potential as something distant, something we have but rarely use, and instead make it a daily practice, something subtle but powerful begins to shift. Potential stops being theoretical, it becomes visible, tangible, and most importantly, directional. Oh yes, direction's so important. I had a tummy tuck this morning. I tucked it right into my high-waisted leggings. Yeah. So my wife asked me if she had any annoying habits and then got all offended during the PowerPoint presentation. Oh, Bob. Yeah. Anyway. At first, the change is internal. Practicing your potential means showing up before you feel ready. We've talked about that before. Well, yeah. It means choosing effort over ease, intention over habit. Oh, yeah. You begin to notice resistance more clearly, the moments where you would normally shrink or delay, but instead of seeing those moments as signs to stop, you start to recognise them as the exact places where your potential is asking to be exercised. There you have it. Over time, consistency compounds. Nice, yes. What once felt unnatural becomes familiar. Skills sharpen, confidence stops being something you wait for and becomes something you build consciously. You also become more resilient because practicing potential requires you to fail often and visibly. And you know what they say about failure? Yes, what do they say? It's part of success. That's quite right. And those failures lose their sting. They become data, not verdicts. Yeah, right. Give up carbs over my bread body. I swear you are a few slices short of a loaf. So externally, the results often look like sudden success, but they are anything but sudden. A lot of work behind the scenes, always. Correct, yeah. Opportunities begin to align with the level you've been quietly preparing for. People respond differently to you, not because you've changed who you are at your core, but because you're expressing more of it more consistently. The gap between who you could be and who you are starts to close. My body's more like a temple. More like sort of like a Catholic church full of wine, bread and guilt. Sha'Carri Richardson has become one of the most compelling examples of what it looks like to truly embody one's utmost potential. Oh yeah, not just through raw speed, but through resilience, self-expression and growth under pressure. Sha'Carri is an amazing athlete. She is, yes. She has explosive acceleration and a fearless racing style marked her as a generational sprinter. But potential on its own is only a starting point. What makes her journey powerful is how she has navigated setbacks, criticism and intense public scrutiny while continuing to evolve both as an athlete and as a person. And she's tiny too. She is. Richardson's career has not followed a perfectly smooth trajectory. Moments of disappointment, particularly on the global stage, could have defined or derailed her. Instead, they became inflection points. She leaned into accountability, sharpened her focus, and returned stronger, demonstrating that reaching one's highest potential often requires confronting adversity head-on rather than avoiding it.
Have you ever seen her run?
Yes, you cannot take your eyes off her.
Y'all ever notice that when you lose the remote, you suddenly lose trust in everyone? Are you sitting on the remote? No, here's the remote. Stand up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, equally important is how Sha'Carri embraces authenticity, whether through her vibrant style, candid interviews, or unapologetic confidence. She challenges traditional expectations of how athletes should present themselves.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
This self-assurance is not separate from her performance, it fuels her. You can just see it in her eyes. By fully owning who she is, and boy does she removes internal barriers that might otherwise limit her.
Yeah, right.
And in that sense, Sha'Carri Richardson isn't just reaching her potential, she's actively redefining what it means to do so.
So what it really means to embody your potential?
Well, to embody your potential means your actions start matching your intentions more often than not.
Okay.
You don't just know what's good for you, you actually do it, even when it's inconvenient or boring.
Such inner strength.
Yes, and making that choice every day. It also means taking yourself seriously without becoming rigid.
Oh, geez, more challenges.
Yeah. Acting with intention instead of drifting on autopilot.
I like autopilot.
Yes, I know you do. Following through, especially when motivation fades.
Because that's normal, right?
Yeah, it's not about perfection. It's just about alignment.
I like to refer to myself as a free spirit because it sounds classier than out of bloody control.
True, very true.
Yeah, that's right.
So, why most people don't feel like they're reaching it? There are a few common blockers: overthinking, waiting to feel ready instead of just starting messy.
Oh yeah, overthinking, it gets exhausting, I must say.
All or nothing mindset. If you can't do it perfectly, you don't do it at all.
Please don't ride with me if you're going to grab the dash or scream every time we run off the road. It makes me nervous.
Exactly right. How dare they?
That's what I think, yeah.
So distraction, constant noises, phones, media, busyness keeps you from focusing. Lack of structure, relying on motivation instead of systems.
My superpower? I can look you dead in the face while you're talking and not hear a damn thing you say.
Guilty. So the truth is, potential isn't unlocked by intensity, it's unlocked by consistency. How to embody your potential. So here's 6 practical ways.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, shrink the idea of big change. Stop trying to overhaul your entire life.
Yeah.
Instead ask, what would be the better version of me to do today? Then do that on a small scale.
I hate being tickled. I don't think it's cute or funny. I will knock you out by accident or purpose.
Righto? Yeah. So you want to be healthier, start with 1 proper meal each day or a 10-minute walk.
Nice, easy start. Very doable.
Yeah. Want to be more disciplined? Do 1 task without checking your phone.
Could that be done? Can that be done?
Yes. Want to grow mentally? Read 5 pages instead of none. Small actions compound faster than occasional bursts of effort.
Sometimes the amount of self-control it takes to not say what's on my mind is so exhausting that I need a nap afterwards.
Okay.
And number 2,
build identity through repetition.
Yeah, repetition is the ticket, isn't it? Yeah.
You don't become confident, disciplined, or focused by thinking about it. You become it by acting like it repeatedly.
Yes.
Every time you follow through, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. #potential is a practice. You don't wait to be disciplined. You act disciplined in small moments. You don't find confidence. You just build it through small actions.
That's the way, yeah. Pretending to be functioning adult is so exhausting.
So your identity is built through evidence. And 3, reduce friction. Don't rely on willpower.
What do you mean?
Well, Make it easier to do the right thing than the wrong thing. Put your phone in another room when working, for example, if that's the challenge. Plan and prepare your environment the night before. Clothes, meals, workplace.
You do that with your gym gear, don't you? Actually, just about wherever you're going the next day, don't you?
Yes, I do. It's just a habit from when I was first in business, when I was in my early 20s. I needed to be organised, and at that stage I had only one child, but we all had to be very organised because then I was going to my business to open at 6:30 in the morning. So yes, that's a habit that has kept me on time and focused. And I love being prepared. Set clear, simple goals, like I just mentioned, instead of vague intentions. The everyday person doesn't need superhuman discipline. They just need smart setup.
All right. Yeah, smart setup. I love it. Yeah, very good. All right, yeah. And 4?
Well, learn to tolerate discomfort.
Oh, I don't do discomfort.
So growth often feels like boredom.
Oh, yeah, I can do that, I guess.
It can feel like resistance, self-doubt. That's normal.
Yeah, true.
Most people quit, not because there's something wrong, but because it feels wrong.
Yeah, right.
If you can sit with discomfort without immediately escaping it, you gain a huge edge.
Hey, the biggest lie I tell myself is I don't need to write that down. I'll remember it, and I never do.
Oh yes, I love my lists. I'm a list girl.
And number 5?
Keep promises to yourself. This is the foundation of self-trust.
Yeah, right.
Start small. I'll go for a 10-minute walk. Do it. I'll wake up at this time. Follow through.
And it feels good when you keep your promises to yourself.
Yeah, it does. When you repeatedly do what you said you would do, your confidence becomes grounded, not fake.
And number 6?
Reflect. Don't just react. Take a few minutes regularly to ask, what did I do well today? Where did I avoid effort? What's one thing I can improve tomorrow? Self-awareness turns experience into progress.
Oh, yeah, that's so true, yeah. Yeah, self-awareness turns experience into progress.
Yeah, it does. The mindset shift that changes everything. Stop seeing your potential as something far away. Start seeing it as something that you practice daily.
Nice, nice. You don't arrive at your potential, you express it in moments, don't you?
Ooh. Yeah, you do. You don't arrive at your potential, you express it in moments. And that's really what it is. It's a series of small decisions. Like even, for example, say you're getting your gym gear ready for tomorrow and you've got your gym gear and you make sure you've got your socks and your shoes, that you may have not been remembering to put your shoes there. Put your shoes there. They're just little moments, they're little things, but in the morning you are highly organised. It's something you can do on autopilot.
Yeah, but you know...
Yeah, that's all right. Things like that help when you're half asleep and all you need to do is get dressed and get out the door. Choosing discipline over distraction, action over hesitation, consistency over intensity.
Oh, I likey, it's doable.
Yeah, bottom line, for the everyday person, embodying your potential isn't about extreme routines or dramatic reinvention. No, it's about quietly doing the things you know matter again and again until it becomes who you are. Not louder, not more complicated, just more aligned.
Aligned, there it is again, it's everywhere. Hey, if you see me dancing like no one's watching, chances are I just really needed to pee.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Creativity doesn't owe you convenience, but it will reward your commitment. Now, let's be clear, doing the work doesn't mean you need to grind 18 hours a day. It doesn't mean toxic productivity. Doing the work means showing up in integrity with your own values.
Yeah, true.
If you say you want to live freely, are your choices creating that freedom? If you say you want to be creative, are you carving out space to create? Or just hoping that one day you'll finally have time?
Oh, brother, so true.
The truth is, most of us aren't short on time. We're short on intention.
Yeah, short on intention, yeah.
We want the life, but not the discipline. I admire discipline. I find it inspiring and meaningful. But the ones who are living how they truly want, those people, they've decided. They've chosen and they'll choose again every day. Honour the spark. Do the work.
Hey, I may need a nap. You know, I hate it when people give me generic advice like take it one day at a time. Like, what am I going to do, Hank? Skip Tuesday?
Skip Mondays, if anything.
Yeah, that's right.
So let this be your reminder, your call-in, your challenge. You're either doing the work or you're not. And if you're not, it's never too late to start. Start small, start scared, but start. And that's the end of the episode.
No way.
Yes, thank you. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself. I'm thinking of you and sending warmth your way. May the days ahead be kind and may we meet again soon. You don't owe anyone your potential, but you do owe it to yourself to find out what happens when you finally show up for it. So say good day to the family for me, give the camel a twinkle, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye.
Bye.